What if I told you that your imagination is the most powerful tool you have? Neville Goddard, one of the greatest teachers of manifestation, revealed a method so simple, yet so powerful, it can change your entire reality. The crown jewel of Neville Goddard's teaching, what I call his secret method, is a profound technique he termed living in the end. This approach to manifestation is deceptively simple yet extraordinarily powerful when properly understood and applied. Unlike many manifestation methods that focus on endless affirmations or vision boards, Neville's technique works directly with the subconscious mind through the power of feeling and imagination. Living in the end means mentally occupying the state of already having what you desire, instead of seeing your desired outcome as something in the distant future that you're working toward. You psychologically place yourself in the position of already having achieved it. This is not pretending or wishful thinking. It's a disciplined psychological technique that alters your subconscious patterns. The true power of this method lies in understanding what Neville called the law of assumption. This law states that whatever state you assume and occupy in your consciousness must eventually manifest in your external reality. As Neville would say, an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Your assumptions about yourself and your world are constantly creating your experience, usually unconsciously. Living in the end makes this process conscious and deliberate. The technique works because of how our subconscious mind operates. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you're physically experiencing and what you're vividly imagining with feeling. When you repeatedly impress upon your subconscious mind the feeling of already having what you desire, it accepts this as reality and begins reorganizing your perceptions and actions to align with this new fact. Let's break down the practical application of living in the end. First, you must clearly define what you want to manifest. Be specific about the end result, not the process of getting there. For example, if you want financial abundance, don't imagine the process of making money. Imagine the state of already being financially free. What would that feel like? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? The crucial element that most people miss is feeling. Neville emphasized that feeling is the secret, the emotional sensation of your wish fulfilled. It's not enough to visualize something. You must generate the genuine emotion that would accompany your desire's fulfillment. This feeling state is what impresses your subconscious mind most deeply. When practicing living in the end, construct a short, symbolic scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. This scene should be simple and repeatable, something you can easily return to in your imagination. For instance, if your desire is a loving relationship, your scene might be feeling your partner's hand in yours as you walk together on a beach at sunset, experiencing the joy and peace of that connection. Timing is also important. Neville recommended practicing this technique particularly as you're falling asleep at night. This is when your conscious, analytical mind is beginning to quiet down, allowing easier access to the impressionable subconscious. As Neville said, what you think of with feeling before you drop off to sleep is functionally identical to prayer. Consistency is vital to success with living in the end. Many people try this technique a few times and give up when they don't see immediate results. Remember that you're reprogramming deep mental patterns that may have been established over decades. Neville taught that you should continue living in the end state until it feels natural to you, until it has the quality of something remembered rather than something imagined. Another key aspect of this technique is detachment from the how. Once you've impressed your desire upon your subconscious through living in the end, you must release any anxiety about how it will manifest. The bridges to your desire will appear naturally, often in ways you couldn't have planned. Your job is to remain faithful to the end result in your imagination, not to orchestrate the middle steps. Living in the end also requires a radical trust in the unseen process of manifestation. While your physical senses might show no evidence of change, you must persist in your assumption that the invisible is shifting to accommodate your new state of consciousness. This is what Neville meant by faith, the conviction of the reality of things not yet seen with the physical eye. The true test of your practice comes when faced with contradictory evidence. When circumstances seem to deny your assumed state, can you remain faithful to your inner knowing? This is where most people abandon their practice, not realizing that these challenges are often the final resistance before manifestation occurs. As Neville taught, the time it takes your assumption to become fact, your desire to be fulfilled, is directly proportionate to the naturalness of your feeling of already being what you want to be. When it comes to applying Neville Goddard's manifestation techniques, there are several common mistakes that prevent people from experiencing the results they desire. Understanding these pitfalls can dramatically improve your success with the living in the end method. The first and perhaps most prevalent mistake is constantly checking for external evidence. Neville was emphatic about this point. You must remain faithful to your inner vision regardless of what your physical senses tell you. Most people begin their manifestation practice with enthusiasm, but abandon it at the first sign that nothing is happening. They don't realize that manifestation often works like planting a seed. There's an invisible period of germination before any visible growth appears. When you constantly look for evidence, you're actually affirming its absence. Each time you think, "Has it worked yet?" you're unconsciously declaring, "It hasn't worked yet." This creates a contradictory mental state that blocks manifestation. Instead, Neville taught that once you've done your inner work of living in the end, you should proceed with the calm confidence of someone who knows the outcome is inevitable, even if temporarily invisible. Another major mistake is trying to figure out how your desire will manifest. This analytical approach activates the logical mind, which can only work with known pathways and past experiences. True manifestation often comes through synchronicities and opportunities that your logical mind couldn't possibly predict. By fixating on the how, you limit yourself to what you already know is possible, rather than allowing the infinite intelligence of your subconscious to orchestrate events in ways you couldn't imagine. Many practitioners also fall into the trap of emotional inconsistency. They might practice living in the end during their designated visualization time, but spend the rest of their day in anxiety, doubt, or focus on lack. Remember that your subconscious responds to the sum total of your mental and emotional state, not just the moments of deliberate practice. If you spend 20 minutes in positive visualization but 23 hours in worry, guess which message your subconscious receives more powerfully? A subtle but significant mistake is practicing from a state of lack or desperation. When your desire feels like a matter of survival or desperate need, you're actually emphasizing its absence. Neville taught that effective manifestation comes from a place of inner fulfillment and gratitude. Approach your practice from the feeling that you're selecting a preference, not desperately trying to escape a painful situation. Many people also misunderstand the nature of the feeling required. They believe they need to generate intense emotion or excitement. In reality, Neville taught that the most powerful feeling state is the quiet certainty of something that's already done, what he called the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is more akin to the calm satisfaction you feel about something you already possess, rather than the excited anticipation of something you hope to get. The timing of practice is another area where mistakes occur. While Neville emphasized the power of the drowsy state before sleep, many people attempt their visualization when they're too tired and simply fall asleep before completing it. Or they do it when they're too alert and struggle to quiet their analytical mind. Finding the sweet spot, relaxed but alert enough to direct your consciousness, is crucial for effective practice. Perhaps the most fundamental mistake is treating Neville's teachings as just another manifestation technique rather than understanding the philosophy behind it. Neville wasn't teaching tricks for getting stuff. He was revealing the nature of consciousness itself. When you understand that your consciousness is the only reality and the external world is its reflection, your approach shifts from trying to make something happen out there to simply changing your inner state and knowing the outer must follow. Many practitioners also abandon their practice too soon. Manifestation has its own divine timing that doesn't always align with our expectations. Some desires manifest instantly, while others require a period of inner transformation before they can appear externally. Giving up when results don't appear according to your timeline is like digging up a seed to see if it's growing. Patience and persistence are essential qualities for successful manifestation. Another common mistake is being too attached to specific outcomes rather than the essence of what you truly desire. For example, if you're fixated on manifesting a relationship with a specific person, you may be missing the underlying desire for love and companionship that could come in an even better form. Neville encouraged focusing on the essence of your desire, the feeling state it would give you rather than rigid attachment to particular forms or pathways. Finally, many people approach manifestation as something separate from their spiritual development. Neville saw these principles not just as tools for getting what you want, but as the pathway to awakening to your true divine nature. When manifestation becomes solely focused on material acquisition without inner transformation, it often leads to disappointment or hollow success. The highest use of these principles is the recognition of your oneness with the creative power of the universe, what Neville would call the recognition that you are God. By avoiding these common mistakes and approaching Neville's teachings with proper understanding, you'll not only improve your manifestation results, but potentially experience the deeper spiritual awakening that these practices are ultimately designed to facilitate. Now I want to share a specific practical technique based on Neville Goddard's teachings that you can begin using tonight. This exercise combines several elements of Neville's approach into a powerful daily practice that can accelerate your manifestation result. The technique is called the state akin to sleep method, and it leverages the special receptivity of your subconscious mind during the transition between wakefulness and sleep. Neville considered this drowsy state to be the ideal condition for impressing new beliefs upon your subconscious mind. Begin by selecting a clear, specific desire that you want to manifest. Remember to focus on the end result, not the process of getting there. For example, if you want a new job, don't visualize sending out resumes or interviewing. Visualize already working in your ideal position, feeling satisfied and accomplished. Next, create a short scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. This scene should be simple, clear, and repeatable, something you can easily visualize night after night. Neville recommended creating a scene that would naturally occur after your desire has been realized. For instance, if your desire is improved health, your scene might be a friend saying, "You look so vibrant and healthy," while you feel the energetic sensation in your body. If your desire is financial abundance, perhaps visualize checking your bank account and seeing a specific balance, feeling the security and freedom that comes with it. The scene should engage as many senses as possible. What do you see? What sounds are present? Are there any smells or tastes associated with your fulfilled desire? Most importantly, what are you feeling emotionally and physically in this scene? The more sensorially rich your imaginal scene, the more powerful its impression on your subconscious mind. When you go to bed tonight, lie on your back in a comfortable position, take several deep breaths, and allow your body to relax completely. Start from your toes and work upward, consciously releasing tension from each part of your body. As you relax physically, you'll notice your mind beginning to quiet as well. As you approach this drowsy state akin to sleep, bring your prepared scene to mind. Don't just passively watch it like a movie. Step into it fully. Experience it in the first person, through your own eyes, not as an observer watching yourself from outside. This is crucial for the technique to work effectively. Now, the key element that Neville emphasized: loop this scene repeatedly. Don't just visualize it once and move on to other thoughts. Return to the beginning and experience it again and again, maintaining the feeling of fulfillment. This repetition deepens the impression on your subconscious mind. As Neville taught, the feeling is what matters most. Generate the genuine emotional state of your wish fulfilled. If your desire is a loving relationship, actually feel the love, security, and joy in your body as you imagine being with your partner. These feelings are the language your subconscious understands most clearly. Continue this practice until you naturally drift off to sleep. Don't worry if you fall asleep before completing many repetitions. The drowsy state itself enhances the impressionability of your subconscious mind. Even a few minutes of this focused imagination with feeling can be incredibly powerful. This technique should be practiced nightly for at least 30 days. Consistency is essential. Manifestation is like building a muscle. Each night's practice strengthens the impression of your desire in your subconscious until it becomes accepted as reality. During your daily activities, complement this nighttime practice by briefly recalling your scene whenever possible. Take a few seconds throughout the day to remember the feeling of your wish fulfilled. These momentary returns to your desired state help maintain the frequency of what you're trying to manifest. Remember that this isn't just visualization. It's a psychological exercise in consciousness shifting. You're training yourself to occupy a new state of being, which will naturally attract corresponding circumstances into your life. As Neville said, you must be in the state to draw things from the state. If doubts or contrary evidence appear during your day, don't fight against them or try to suppress them. Simply acknowledge them and gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This emotional discipline is what separates successful manifestors from those who give up too soon. Another key aspect of this technique is what Neville called thinking from the end during your daily life. This means making decisions, speaking, and acting from the perspective of someone who already has what you desire. Would someone who has already achieved financial abundance worry about small expenses? Would someone in perfect health focus constantly on symptoms? Align your daily consciousness with your desired end state. Finally, cultivate gratitude throughout this process. Genuine gratitude shifts your vibration instantly to one of having rather than lacking. Before beginning your nighttime visualization, spend a few moments in sincere gratitude for what you already have and for the fulfillment of your desire, as if it has already happened. This practical technique encapsulates the essence of Neville's teaching. By faithfully practicing it each night, you're not just engaging in pleasant visualization, you're actually rearranging your subconscious patterns in a way that must eventually manifest in your physical reality. As Neville promised, when you persist in this practice, the day will dawn when you will find yourself living in the state you visualized, and you will realize it was not your doing but God's gift to you. Now that you understand Neville Goddard's powerful manifestation method and have a practical technique to apply tonight, let's talk about how to maintain consistency and build on this knowledge to transform your life completely. First, I want to invite you to make a commitment to yourself. Real transformation happens when knowledge becomes practice. Right now, decide that you'll apply the state akin to sleep technique every night for the next 30 days without fail. This consistent practice is what will bridge the gap between understanding these concepts intellectually and experiencing their power in your life. If you found value in learning about Neville's approach to manifestation, please support this channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. This simple action helps more people discover these life-changing teachings. Remember, when you share wisdom that transforms your life, you're contributing to the elevation of collective consciousness, something Neville himself was passionate about. I'd love to know what specific desire you'll be working with as you apply this technique. Share in the comments below what dream you're ready to manifest. Being specific and declaring your intention publicly can add powerful momentum to your manifestation practice. Plus, our community can support each other and celebrate successes together. Consider this video just the beginning of your journey with Neville's teachings. On this channel, we'll be exploring many more of his techniques and concepts in depth. Next week, I'll be sharing Neville's approach to revision, a powerful method for healing your past and reshaping your future. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. For those of you who want to dive deeper right away, I've created a free downloadable guide that expands on what we've covered today. It includes additional techniques, troubleshooting tips for common challenges, and excerpts from Neville's lectures that clarify key points. You'll find the link in the description below. As you begin practicing what you've learned today, remember that manifestation is both an art and a science. Be patient with yourself as you develop this skill. Some desires manifest quickly, while others require more persistent inner work. The key is to enjoy the process of consciousness transformation rather than fixating on external results. I also want to encourage you to document your journey. Keep a manifestation journal where you record your nightly practice, any shifts in your consciousness, and the manifestations that begin appearing in your life. This documentation serves two purposes. It helps you recognize the subtle ways your reality is changing, and it builds your faith in the process when you can look back and see your progress. If you have friends or family members who could benefit from these teachings, please share this video with them. Many people are struggling unnecessarily, not realizing that the solution to their challenges lies in understanding how consciousness creates reality. Your share could be the catalyst for someone else's transformation. For those of you who prefer to learn in community, consider joining our private Facebook group where we discuss these concepts, share experiences, and support each other's manifestation journeys. You'll find like-minded individuals who are applying these same principles and can offer insights from their own practice. Remember that manifestation isn't just about acquiring things or circumstances. It's ultimately about discovering your own divine nature. As you continue applying these techniques, you'll likely experience a profound shift in how you perceive yourself and your relationship to the world. This spiritual awakening is the greatest gift of Neville's teachings. I believe in your ability to create profound change through these methods. The same power that Neville accessed is equally present in you. Your imagination is truly the creative power of God working through you, and when you harness it consciously, there are no limits to what you can manifest. Before we end, I want to leave you with one of Neville's most powerful quotes: "Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live." Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself, and they will confirm the change, Let this wisdom guide your practice in the coming days. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Neville Goddard's secret manifestation method. I look forward to connecting with you in the comments and hearing about your experiences as you apply what you've learned. Until next time, remember that your imagination creates your reality. Use it wisely and wonderfully.